football at its absolute best.
Yeah, they had us the first half, I'm not going to lie.
Oh, could be Wayne.
I think I got my swagger back. Oh.
I love it, baby.
Them orange britches. Something about them orange britches.
Tennessee wins! Brought us by Tennessee, Jawan Jennings. Jennings makes the catch.
Ball hit high in the air into right field. Going back is Sayre. And Tennessee can say hello, win column. A grand slam in the bottom of the ninth. You can't draw it up any better.
We just won a basketball game, and we're very happy right now. McGrath for the win. He got it. If you don't like college football and you watch this one, I'm not sure what your problem is.
Ready to do and welcome into More Important Issues. It is Sunday, July 16th. It's episode 477. We are counting down the days until 500. Things are going to get weird. It's going to be fun. It's going to be middle of football season. Can't wait.
I can't wait till football season.
Correct.
And we're going to start doing a rewatch of last season because that's what you do in the off season. You know, find stuff to do. So, yeah, we're going to do that. Hopefully, I guess
Probably
Sunday.
Sunday, yeah.
Okay, yeah, we'll start that up. Yeah,
We might be able to do it Thursday. Let's just say next week. Next week. We'll start with oh my gosh, I almost said Bowling Green. Who'd we play? Open the season.
It was Ball State.
Yep. Ball State. Balls. Yeah. Absolutely. So we'll start with Ball State. Should we just do Ball State and then Pitt? No, let's just do it. Let's do it one at a time.
Yeah, one at a time.
Let's do it one at a time. Do we have enough time?
Will
we have enough time to do 13 games?
Yeah, I think we should be fine. Yeah.
That'd be what? 7 weeks?
Yeah, it'd be close, but we can do it.
Okay. I'm down.
Yeah.
We might have to take two episodes on the Alabama game.
Yeah, we might have to do that. We can time that up, and depending on when is 500 again. That's in October.
That'll be like October. It'll be the week of the Alabama game if everything stays on track like we want it to.
Okay,
so we'll see. Or sorry, it'll either be the week of the Alabama game or the bye week, one or the other.
Okay,
I can't remember. I'll have to look again. You get it. But Alabama's away, so it's perfect. We can do our 12-hour episode or 500-minute. What would 500 minutes be? What would that be?
I don't know, but it made me think of like when Michael leaves Dunder Mifflin, and they sing that however many minutes that song.
Yeah,
600 minutes.
Yeah, we can sing that song.
Yeah, let's do that.
This is roughly eight and a half hours, a little under 8.5 hours. So we can do that. We can make that happen. That's no problem. We might go a little bit longer. I don't know. Depends on how the hot tub goes. It could be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
They want to stay around for a little bit longer. But yeah, that's gonna be a fun episode. We've obviously got some fun stuff coming up with football season happening. Tailgates. We talked a little bit about tailgates today. Me and Landon fired up for them. I know we have a reserve spot this year, so we don't have to. But like, I'm still probably getting there at like 7 a.m.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
So maybe not 5 a.m. 5 a.m. is a little early.
Yeah.
7 a.m. is happening. And who knows? Maybe we get around to, like the A&M game or something like that, and I'm fired up, and maybe I'll just stay overnight.
Yeah, and I probably won't sleep well, but I think I'm going to at least rest better knowing that I don't have to fight somebody else for a spot. It's there.
Right.
So
right.
I'm looking forward to that.
1,000%. This football season's like I was talking to people like I'm here at shout out Macy hosting me this weekend in Phoenix. She's like, do you miss Knoxville? I was like, I mean, yeah, but like the only reason I could never live like away from Knoxville, obviously like Johnson City, that's close enough. Football season. Like that's what I would absolutely not be able to do it for.
And me, you ass.
Well, I mean, I'm just like, we can see each other often. We see each other. I've seen you twice a week this entire trip. It's the football season that
you can see my whole body though.
It's true. You want to stand up and give me a twirl? But yeah, that's the one killer is because it's obviously every week for 12 weeks in the fall, and like that would suck. You can't just travel on a plane back.
Yeah, no, it kind of takes the fun out of it.
Yeah, for sure. And honestly, credit to the people who do come in from Johnson City, Nashville, Memphis, or anywhere like that every week, because it makes football season a little more grueling. For sure. But
also, if you have the money for it, it's probably not that bad either. But
if you if you're just going to the game, that's probably easy. But if you're like tailgating, if you're wanting to like see people,
like paying for hotel rooms and making sure you get to that'd be exhausting. Just traveling in general is exhausting. We both did it. I mean, I did it this week. You've been doing it for 3 weeks now, going on
2 weeks.
Okay.
This is 15 days now.
Okay. Yeah. So I can just see by your eyes you're just worn out.
Well, I am tired from traveling. Last night though was a different animal. Did a little wine tasting. Did more than just tasted it.
LeBron would be so proud of you.
Plus the golf course. Guys, I played golf. It got up to like 116 degrees yesterday on the golf course. And it's crazy. You hear people talk about like it is a little bit different. Obviously, like once it gets like 116, it's bad just pretty much no matter what. When it's like 102, 103, it's definitely like uncomfortable. Probably like 90 degrees in Knoxville, 90, 94 degrees. And like you don't necessarily be outside in it, but like you can.
Yeah.
So it's 116 is a different animal though. Let me tell you. I'm glad I picked the hottest time of the year to come to Utah and Arizona.
Yeah, great planning on your part.
I think this is a February trip, guys. I think that's when you take this trip. But no, it's been good. Brutus has definitely hated me when we went hiking in like central Utah and then Sedona. He definitely was like, "What the hell are you doing?" Mm-hmm. He was finding shade. He would just see a tree and go lay down under it. He didn't get any cactus things on him. I did. I had to got pricked. Yep. That was fun. So it is what it is, but yeah, we grind, baby. Start a 26-hour trip back tomorrow.
Okay. Yeah. Hurry up.
Plus a little bit more than that, because I'm hitting one more national park. It's my last one. That'll be number 10 on this trip. I keep saying I'm already at 10. I'm not. That will be number 10. If you count Gateway Arch National Park, which I do, because I'm just, for numbers, baby. Like I literally just drove into Montana to say I've been to Montana. Same with Idaho.
Okay, nice.
So I'm at 14.
Cross them off the list.
I'm at 14 states right now. I'll finish at finish at 18.
Okay. Speaking of 10, going to this is a Tennessee podcast. Elijah Simmons is going to wear number 10 this season.
There are some interesting numbers in these. I do like that Colin McCastle's wearing number 34. Do we maybe see him at fullback? That's a fullback number.
That is you're no longer a tight end. You're an H-back.
Yes. Yeah, bringing back the H-back. That was a quick – H-backs don't exist anymore, and they had a good 8-year run in college football and maybe like a 3-year run in the NFL.
I think that's why Josh Heupel used them. It's just like, what the hell is this? Like, defenses have never seen them before. They're like,
is this 2012? Yeah, definitely. And maybe that's why he's using a fullback too. It's like you're just gonna see it once again. We just put it on film for you. That's what it is. You have to prepare for it.
Yeah, agreed.
I like that. That's next level stuff right there. I'm trying to remember some other interesting numbers. Gabe Jeudy-Lally and Deontay Thornton both get number 1.
Yep.
Transfers in. I don't know if number 1 holds any prowess in this program, but if it does, I feel like that's a good sign for us.
Well, I feel like 0 is the new 1.
I hate the number 0.
That's what Jalen Wright's rocking.
Yeah, and I don't think it looks good in basketball or football. I do think it looks good in 00. Looks good in basketball. I love the number 00.
Do you?
Yes, that's one of the most underrated numbers of all time. I'll stand by that take.
Okay. Yeah.
You don't like 00?
I mean, I do, but because it's funny, not because it's it looks cool.
I think it looks good.
I think 99 is the best number, honestly.
Okay. And just anything?
Yeah, I mean, just imagine a DB wearing 99. That would be awesome.
That would be cool. I think 88's a good number. I think we need a quarterback with like a weird number.
Yeah.
88. You were 88, right? Your freshman year before. Okay.
Yep.
88.
Yep.
We need another like 26, 25.
I'm thinking like a 40 number or a 36 or whatever number.
Yeah, that'd be great for a quarterback. I agree.
Yeah, let's do that.
Kicker. What number is he? 19? Is that right?
Who?
The transfer from Indiana. I can't remember his name.
Oh, Campbell.
Maybe. But number 19, is that right?
Yeah, I thought I saw that. I didn't have that written down. I did have the kind of the single digits. So Jalen Wright's at 0. Aaron Beasley's at 6.
That's not a single digit. That's no digit.
Okay.
0 digit.
All right. Ramel Keaton's 9.
I kind of liked him at 80.
Yeah.
He looks like an 80 receiver.
Yeah, I feel like he could be underrated as 80, but number 9, you're not really
Right. You know who to look for out there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Elijah Simmons is 10, so don't know how he's going to fit in Henry ToTo's old jersey, but he is.
That's a junkyard dog number too.
Yeah.
So I'm glad he got that.
Yeah.
It's a junkyard dog number. Like it's like a kind of like going into overrated, underrated. Like he's a junkyard dog because he got that number. He could be a junkyard dog in another number, but he is now.
Yeah, I did like the Area 51 jokes, but I guess like that's gone now. I don't know whatever happened to Area 51, but it's no longer like a topic of conversation anymore.
I wasn't aware of this. Okay, is it with Oppenheimer coming out? There's more interest in Oak Ridge.
I don't know. I just never see it anymore. But I did enjoy that time period when Elijah Simmons was believed to be Area 51.
I mean, if there's an Area 51, there has to be an Area 10. Or do you think they started just at that 51?
I do like how Dylan Sampson and Jalen Wright just took off their like front number.
Yeah.
So Dylan Sampson's now wearing number 6. They just took off got rid of the 20. Yeah.
Just moving on up.
Yeah. I like that.
Any other numbers that you like?
Arian Carter is wearing 7. Keelan Peely is wearing 11.
Deshaun Bishop, president of the Deshaun Bishop fan club, 25, right?
Yep, that's right. Mm-hmm.
I did see he's I don't know what he came in at. They've got him listed at 200 now. I'm sure they'd like to see him bulk up a little bit more, but I feel like that's good progress. Yeah. I know they want to get him a bit bigger. 200 is pretty good, and Nico's like 204 now, something like that.
How much is that his hair?
Fair point. Can't argue with that. And I know you like him in number 8. I don't know. He kind of looked like a 12 quarterback to me, but I like 8. 8's fine. But that change happened a while ago, but
it's Stroud vibes.
12 Stroud vibes?
Yeah.
I don't think he could look like JT Stroud.
No, I agree. But that first interception that he throws, it's like, oh God, JT Stroud. It's gonna be PTSD.
I don't know if he could ever get to that point. Maybe he could, but
he does look like more of a, and hopefully play wise too, but he does look more like a Tyler Bray than a JT Stroud.
For sure. I hope maybe some of the on-field arm slinging talents of Tyler Bray save the beer drinking, though. I mean, you can do it, but maybe just don't throw the bottles after you get done.
Yeah, maybe not.
Is that fair? Okay, good deal.
Yeah, save your own for the field.
For sure. Yeah. Hopefully we don't see too much of him this year. That means it's going good. I would hope.
Yeah. I mean, hope we do see him, but I hope it's late in games.
Yeah, I hope we see him like we saw Joe Milton last year.
Yeah, he needs
without the Vanderbilt and Orange Bowl.
Yeah, he needs to be a victory formation guy. For
sure. Yeah, get really good at kneeling the ball down.
Yeah,
and you'll get an entire fourth quarter where you get to show off your arm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
they don't remember how you start the game; it's how you finish.
100%. 100%. I was watching somebody post a video of Joe Milton that throw against Missouri that Squirrel White was essentially just fielding a punt.
Yeah,
I mean it's a rocket, and he doesn't really know where it's going to end up. I mean inches from a touchdown because he didn't really have to dive for it, but kind of had to like catch it like an egg. in the egg toss. Kind of had to feather it down to the ground.
I wish I could be like eye level with the top of Neyland Stadium to see how far that ball went up in the air.
Yeah, 100%. I think it's illegal now, but the Colquitts I know did it a lot at the end of warm-ups. They would punt the ball as far as they could into the stands. I would love to see Joe Milton just throw it.
That's illegal?
Yeah, I think it's a personal foul now to do that, to punt or throw the ball into the stands.
Oh. I never saw Will Levis get.
Did he do it?
I mean, I'm sure.
Oh.
I think he did. Like, he did throw it out of bounds pretty far. I don't know if it.
No. In like warm-ups, it's illegal.
Okay, so you can do it during a game.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you want to,
like
you can just
worse. I feel like if you do it during a game, you should be.
I kind of like when quarterbacks throw it away, like out of the back of the end zone, and just throw it as far as they can. I do kind of like that. I really like when people who don't understand what's happening are like, "What was he doing?"
Yeah.
So I'm with throwing the ball into the stands.
Okay.
Throw it to your mama. There's no one open.
Yeah. Just hit somebody. Somebody's calling for the ball.
Yeah, do it Blue Mountain State and just take the mascot down.
Yeah. Hit somebody. Yeah, have a target.
Who are our bottom tier mascots? We'll give you the guys to hit. Mr. Commode. Ole Misses, you may have to find which one's their mascot, who it is that day. I think they just change it up with that mascot. Truman and Aubie definitely kind of have hittable faces.
Yeah, that would be. Now Tusk, he would just catch it with his tut, like he would just pop.
That'd be cool. Don't throw it to Tusk.
Yeah,
we stand Tusk.
Yeah.
Scratch, yeah, you can definitely hit Scratch.
Yeah.
You definitely can hit Scratch. So yeah, that's how you throw the ball away. Nico, thank you for coming to our TED Talk. We hopefully not having to do it too much, but if you have to,
yeah,
always be prepared.
Let it rip. If you're going to throw the ball away, at least work on some accuracy while you're doing it.
For sure.
Yeah.
Can we put Nico in number 88? For at least his freshman year. He can drop the second 8 like Dylan Sampson.
Yeah. I just feel like it's a number. And we're going to act like numbers don't matter, so why do we have rules of who can wear what?
I thought quarterbacks were like free reign essentially in college.
I thought it's 19 through 1. Or I guess I know that's the way it is in the NFL. So,
right, the NFL has stricter numbers, which they did allow wide receivers to wear single digits now.
Yeah,
but yeah, they have stricter numbers. I think the only numbers they can't wear are like quarterbacks can go 1 to 49.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't think this is right because wide receivers can wear single digit. This must be NFL. Because it says tight ends and wide receivers can only wear 80 to 99. That's not true. Yeah. It does say 1 to 19.
Yeah, I'm not sure what those rules are, but I would like it to be just free reign. Anybody can wear whatever number they want to.
1,000%. I get it for basketball. Refs only have 2 hands.
Yeah.
They can only do so much.
Right. Well,
but also feels like you could communicate verbally as well.
And maybe we get rid of that when we get robots instead of actual.
Are we going robot basketball refs too?
Maybe. I mean, I feel like you can't get any worse, so I feel like we should.
I feel like we need weirder numbers in baseball now that we talk about robot umps. I feel like we don't have enough weird.
Yeah, pitchers are weird.
Yeah, especially in the MLB.
Yeah. There's too many names.
I like is Xander 79?
Xander's 49.
49. That's a good number. I got the golf cart I had yesterday was 69. I didn't notice it till like the 14th hole. I didn't actually ever notice it. A guy pointed it out to me.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, yeah, probably my worst drive of the day. I ended up pretty much in someone's backyard.
48. He's 48, not 49.
48. Okay.
Yeah.
It's honestly probably better than 49.
Yeah.
And I rolled up, and I also told them to cheer like I just hit a hole in one. They didn't do any. It was a good out too. I put myself back in the middle of the fairway with like 120 yards left. They didn't react at all, and the guy just goes, you got cart number 69? I was like, no, I didn't, but thank you.
Nice.
Yeah. So, they may have been so drunk they didn't understand what I was saying. That's fine. They were having a day. They were in a pool, which I was very envious of.
Have a day. You got a good friend to tell us about, right?
I do. I'm glad. We kind of just ran into the show. Just did it. But I'm going to tell you guys about our friends over at Underdog. Underdog is Knoxville's best sports collectible store with a wide selection of UT cards, autographs, and memorabilia. Whether you're looking for a Peyton Manning autographed helmet or the most recent Topps baseball card release, you'll find it at Underdog. The shop is owned by UT graduates and proudly supports UT Sports by hosting NIL events throughout the year. You can find them at the Western Plaza. Landon said it's near Little Caesars. I'm sure it's also near a Domino's. Check them out. They're open 6 days a week with live YouTube shows 3 nights per week. Remember to always bet on the Underdog, and that shop is at 4452 Western Avenue. It's next to Club 4. Upgraded. They've upgraded recently. Yeah. Club 4 Fitness in that same plaza. That's 4452 Western Avenue. Go check them out. Always bet on the Underdog. Shout out to our good friends, Underdog Collectibles.
Yep. Love those guys. Let's get into the NCAA because I feel like this is going to take up a little bit of the show here. Good meat of it. It's finally over.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's a mixed review on like where what the ruling actually was in terms of did Tennessee get a slap on the wrist or not?
I think in a sense, yes. But I also think just none of the punishment should apply. So I also kind of think the NCAA had to exercise as much of their power as possible. And they did that. And that bothers me. They talked about how, essentially Tennessee found all the Tennessee went and did the investigation for them. Tennessee cooperated the whole time to avoid a postseason bowl ban. This was essentially the goal. So I think all in all, it worked out. Like everything's fine. I won't call it like I told you, it's kind of a nothing burger, but like I don't think any of the punishment should have applied. So I think it's kind of bullcrap. Yeah. Tennessee did self-impose a lot of penalties that are going to be credited at least, but they did self-impose. I think it's dumb. Like they would have had essentially no power, which I don't know how it would have worked if Tennessee had just fired Pruitt. Like David Ubben, just the dumbest take of all time. Tennessee should have just paid the $13 million buyout and let him go away. Why would they not be asking questions? Why did you fire this guy 6 months after he got an extension? Does Fulmer go with him then? How do you pay the recruiting staffs? Like, do you pay their buyout too? You're obviously going to pay the assistants buyouts. I don't like, it's not as simple as he made it. Like Tennessee kind of had to do this if they wanted to get rid of Pruitt. They couldn't have done this quietly.
Yeah.
So that doesn't make sense to me. And you could have done that and this still happened. So you could have still gotten hit with all of this and then paid Pruitt's buyout. I think Tennessee did what they had to do to not take on potentially more punishment because, and I'm not saying it would have happened for sure, but it gets harder.
Yeah. I don't think it was a slap on the wrist. Just because it's $60,000 in impermissible benefits, and you had to pay an $8 million fine plus like $1.5 million in legal and attorney fees that accrued over this.
That seems really low number.
2-year period. I feel like it's been a lot, and it's kind of been held over Tennessee. In recruiting and, other stuff like that. Tennessee lost 26 transfers. So I think it was punished enough. But I don't think the NCAA thought that because Tennessee, the program is where it's at right now. If Tennessee was 4-8 last year, I think it's different what the punishment would have been.
Definitely that. I think there's potential for that. I also think it shows what Josh Heupel's been able to do because they have had these restrictions already on them, and they've still been able to recruit decently well. Obviously, win some football games, so that's big. I do think that says a lot about what Heupel's been able to do. Hopefully, it gets better. Once these restrictions get lifted fully, but and it seems that the NCAA still wanted to, which they said. They wouldn't have done a bowl ban because of cooperation. I don't believe that for a second. The Tennessee the state of Tennessee Attorney General, apparently he sent – there are obviously conversations about a bowl ban enough to where Tennessee wanted to ensure that was not going to happen. And they talked to the Attorney General, and he essentially sent a letter saying, if you do this, we will be suing you on behalf of the players. And I think that means it was on the table the whole time. And that is absurd to me. You said it. You don't cooperate with the NCAA, period. They could have done their own investigation and then told the NCAA to get bent. Like, we're going to do our own investigation so we can fire Pruitt, and then, good luck, buddy. You do whatever you need to do. But we're not turning over any of this. And I think that's what they should have done. Missouri is a great example why you don't cooperate. LSU and Kansas are great examples on the other side of it why you don't cooperate. LSU self-imposed their bowl ban, which I think Tennessee should have done, and which I didn't fire Pruitt until January, but their investigation started in November. I think they should have said, this is our bowl ban in 2020 and done that. And because they didn't go to that bowl, they cited COVID, but I think it had a lot to do with the investigation with where the season was at. And they should have said, this is our bowl ban.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely could have been a lot worse, but
for sure
you do have to, account for 12 more scholarship reductions over these next 5 years. And like a team that was so depleted, and you're trying to build depth through recruiting and the transfer portal and stuff. And then you're having to account on official visits and unofficial visit restrictions and things like that. I mean, it's just a team that's fighting to get back to where, Georgia and Alabama and compete with those teams on a yearly basis. That's tough to do. And again, going back to what you said a second ago with Josh Heupel, I mean, it is a testament to how good he's been. Now, if I don't really want to go back and say, like, I wish they would have done it this way, because it seemed to have worked out for Tennessee. However, this came about. Tennessee landed Josh Heupel, who not a lot of people had a lot of high hopes for when he got here. Has put life back into this program. So
for sure,
if that was the only way to get to this point, I'm glad we took it.
I agree with that. Yeah, for sure. And I'm with you to in a sense where, like, this is kind of a slap on the wrist, but I also don't think Tennessee should have gotten it at all. So I'm kind of like in the middle.
Yeah. It could have been worse, but
I think too, going back into those 26 players that transferred, I don't know exactly what those conversations were, and I know I'm positive some would have transferred regardless with a new coach coming in. But it does seem that all of the players that were involved with this were gone. So it does seem like there was a conversation of, you need to look elsewhere. So that's another thing. Tennessee kind of took care of business from the inside and said, if we gave you impermissible benefits, we're just, because of where we're at, we're going to ask you not to do this program anymore. And I think, again, that should have been credited to Tennessee as well. And it doesn't seem to have been. I mean, you lost a lot of your best players in that because they were receiving impermissible benefits. So
yeah.
Also, you're not going to investigate Georgia after it's known that a guy on their roster is one of the ones that received these. It just doesn't make sense.
Well, the guy that was behind it all came from Alabama. Where do you think you learned that?
And Georgia and Florida State. It's like, won national championships at 2 of those stops. Like
unreal.
Yeah. And investigating MTSU, he played there too. So they need to be on the chopping block as well.
Yeah.
I think death penalty at MTSU seems fair.
Yeah, I agree.
Sorry, Blue Raiders.
Yeah, I just didn't understand why it took so long, number one. I think that's been the biggest thing. It's like, hey, let's get this over with and move on. And I think that's what Danny White, Donnie Plowman, and especially Josh Heupel and the staff, they just wanted behind them. Because, I mean, at least like me and you, like we came into this thing knowing like we're going to get something. Josh Heupel just came. I mean, he knew he was going to get something, but he had nothing to do with it. At least we were fans of the program under Jeremy Pruitt. Like he had nothing to do with anything, and he's the one getting punished for it.
Yeah, take us out of the stands for a game. Suspend everyone who cheered for Jeremy Pruitt.
Yeah,
you'll have to bring in only the bandwagons.
Yeah, that was watching that team play in 2020. That was punishment enough.
For sure. Yeah, that's a good point too. That's a very good point. And Jeremy Pruitt does get some. I like what Landon Allen said. Like, how does he not have to pay the fine at all? How is he not involved? Like, he gets the 6-year show cause. Sure, he's going to be. He has a 100% ban in 2023. So I doubt he'll be hired this year by anybody. But next year he's going to be on a coaching staff, and I'm going to guess that coaching staff's name starts with an A. They're going to hire him, and they're going to have him coaching. He's going to take his 1-year suspension, and he'll be back there. They were waiting on all. Like, I know, like, some people are saying he's hired now by Alabama. I don't believe that to be true. That would be insane.
He's just dropping off money at nail salons and shit.
Sure. But I think he'll be back at Alabama, if not next year, the year after, and they'll do what Auburn did with Bruce Pearl, and they'll put him on probation, recruiting probations, I'm sure, and move on.
Yeah. Don't understand.
That's another thing. Show cause doesn't mean you can't coach. It just means the school has to agree to the probations and the punishments and restrictions by that coach from the NCAA. They have to show cause as to why they should be able to hire him. And
yeah, you basically have it's just the waiver process for transfer.
Yeah, essentially, like, you just have to accept the restrictions he comes with, and he gets to coach there. So he's suspended for this entire year. I don't see Alabama hiring him now, but next year, yeah, I definitely see it happen.
Yeah. Also, like, kind of moving on a little bit from this, but I love the stories that are coming out about the program.
Yes.
Adam Sparks, I think Mike Wilson, some of those guys that have come up, Volquest, I'm sure will have some as well. But it's Brian Niedermeyer and Danny Stiff and Shelton Felton, all those guys, were part of it. But the one I saw was a player coming in during COVID. It was during a dead period on an basically all-inclusive unofficial visit. And They go to a nail salon and pay for a spa day, basically, for the player and the mom, which red flag number one for that player. If he's going to a nail salon, I don't really want him on my football team.
Oh, you don't want soft hands?
No.
Or soft feet? Okay. You want calloused feet. I like that.
I'm not looking for a guy that wants to go to Law Nails over there by Chili's in West Knoxville. I'm not okay with that.
Okay.
So
I like that.
I think we should have pulled that scholarship immediately.
I like that take. I also like the conversations surrounding that visit where they were like, no, this has, like, on the phones, text message, not even cell phone, like, not even talking on the phone. No, this has to be off the books. I love that. Like, that's just, we're not going to hide it at all. We're going to show our hand on our school issued
everything in writing. Love it.
Yes. We don't know how to cheat. That's very clear. So don't worry. Truly. And then I think it was Shelton Felton that was, had to get onto that one recruiting guy assistant that was like, hey, brother, we're keeping the streets. Like, do not text me on my work phone. We have burners, my guy. Like, come on. I know you got this number. I love that part of it. I haven't read the Niedermeyer stuff. I've heard people talk about it. Apparently, something about all the cash he was getting out is because his girlfriend loves to shop. So poor girl just caught a stray. Obviously, that money was not being allocated to her shopping sprees, but she still got outed in the investigation.
Well, it's funny because, like, she basically, like, got everything she wanted while Niedermeyer was here, and then as soon as he gets canned, they break up. So,
yep.
Gold digger? Are we calling that?
I don't know how much gold she was getting. I mean, we know that cash was not for
right.
Gold.
Well, I mean, the joke that, like, outed the entire staff, or that I guess brought it up to Donde Plowman, was Niedermeyer can't take the voluntary pay cut because he has to pay for the spot or the nail salon. He needed that cash for the nail salon. So
for sure.
I think that's awesome. I love that, sorry, La Nails, you got kind of outed, but you're kind of the reason why all this happened.
What was that place next to Calhoun's that kind of had a weird name? That was a spa.
Next to Calhoun's?
That we ate at the other day.
Kind
of had a sketchy name on it. I don't remember. I wonder if they went there at all.
Yeah, maybe.
That's the whole situation is kind of baffling, just how brazenly it was done.
We paid a kid and he didn't even come here.
Yeah, it's true. Which I'm sure that's another thing. You said $60,000. I refuse to believe that number's that low. That's like all they could find.
Yeah, probably. That's all they could find, probably numbers wise. But yeah, I saw something where 110 Nights in a hotel were paid for. There was 14 times where gear was provided to prospects, which
Well, you had an assistant reach out to you like, please take this picture
it
down.
was
He's
Danny
wearing
Stiff.
Tennessee
He was
gloves.
one of them that was
Yeah.
kind of the ringleader in all this. Told me to take that down because I think Carnell Tate was wearing Tennessee gloves at a camp, and I commented on it. He's like, "Hey man, can you take that down? It doesn't look good."
And
I'm like, "Dude, are you
again,
kidding me?
pretty
Everybody saw
brazenly-
that."
If we were, I mean, even you being a Tennessee fan, that's if you didn't like this staff, I feel like you could have just been like, hey, by the way, maybe take a look into this.
Yeah.
Like they know what they're doing because they told us to take it down.
Yeah, you didn't tell the recruit to take it down. I guarantee it.
Yeah, pretty bold. Also, so how does that work? I feel like I see a lot of commits recruits that have been to these places wear Tennessee gloves. Are they buying them, quote unquote? Like, what's the deal?
I have no clue how that works. I mean, maybe I'm thinking, you know how you go to a camp and you get a shirt and, shorts or a bag or something like that. Maybe that's
Right.
included in some of that.
Okay, so if you didn't come to the camp, you probably shouldn't have the gloves.
Yeah.
Kind of deal. Okay.
I don't know how that works.
Interesting.
Like, if you take an official visit, do you get that stuff? Because, I mean, if they're giving you Tennessee shirt, I don't know why they can't give you gloves. But
Right. I don't understand it. I do know there are those rules, though.
Yeah.
Like gloves cannot be given at some stage, but obviously some kids have them.
and a
so
lot
I
of
don't know
game day
how that
parking
works.
was given out too. I'm like,
What the heck?
I'm like, you should have a.
I can't get a G10 pass with this kid that's here for a week and won't even commit to you. Gets a G10 pass. Get out of here. It's ridiculous.
I thought that's insane. I was like, shouldn't you have like a lot just like blocked off for what you need it for?
Right. Yeah, pretty bad there. Also, I mean, we know. Well, maybe that would have been $60,000 right there, just game day passes.
We gave $6,000 to somebody to put a down payment on a car, and
Good
then
for
I
them.
think we paid
Yeah.
25 of the payments after that.
Wow.
And
You
it
think that'd be
said
$60,000 right there?
coach's wife, so we know who that was.
Yeah.
Pruitt.
Yeah, 100%.
She was
Which, dude, again, I will always give credit to her. Casey Pruitt is a ride or die. Like, say what you want about Jeremy. Casey has said, we're going to be successful.
Are they still together? We've
It's
checked
not
on
have
that.
anything to do with it. Yeah, they are. She went to the.
Oh, that's
she went
right.
to the
That's
things
right.
with
She was there. That's right.
So I give full credit to her. She said, I want this to work. And she was willing to go down with the ship. So
Yeah.
I give credit to her. I think, I don't know if Jeremy Pruitt was just being nice or if he was like, hey, when this gets brought up, I do want to look like a good guy. He did pay for someone's surgery in cash. Good for him.
Yeah, medical bills.
I don't know if that's goodness of his heart or he just said, let me make this look good. We're not just buying these kids Chick-fil-A.
Was that Caden Salter's dad?
I don't know.
I just assumed that's
I'm
what
not
it
sure.
was, but maybe not.
No clue. I think it was a mom's like hip surgery.
Okay, never mind.
I think is what I saw. It is interesting. There's gonna be more come out as they go through thousands and thousands of Freedom of Information Acts through Tennessee and emails and text messages, and it's gonna be fun for sure. Like that, this is a good last month but until football season because we're gonna get some good stories.
Yeah.
Like we
I love the like voluntary pay cut. When that happened, everybody's like, "That's super weird," and don't really love that. Like the only ones that took a pay cut were, I think, Jay Graham and was it Terry Fair at that point?
maybe.
And everybody else like didn't take it, and come to find out, there was a reason why they didn't because they had to pay for all the stuff.
Right.
And then, I mean, most of the stuff came about like them just lying during the investigation, and they were too dumb to like cover anything up.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you're again texting on the school phones, which apparently some of the recruiting staff turned over their personal phones, and that's what some of this is coming out of. Which again, that is an insane thing to do.
Yeah, dude.
Why did you do that?
Yeah, just talk in person, man. Talk in person.
Golly.
There was something else. Oh, Jeremy Pruitt. Are we taking a side a little bit? Because he did kind of stick up for the players in Cincinnati, saying like, "Don't punish this staff." Which, I mean, maybe the NCAA was like, dude, shut your mouth. You're a moron.
I think that's probably just part of like the good old like the coaching circle. Like he's got to play it good to get another job.
Yeah, he was trying to make himself stay in a better light, I guess.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, no, like good for him that he said that. I didn't realize he did say that, but yeah, good for him.
But also, like, you really didn't care.
Yeah, no.
You end up winning 5 games in 3 years.
That's a good head coaching record.
Well, guess what? Those 2 of those wins are against ranked opponents.
There you go. So you didn't have them all vacated?
No, just 2019 and 2020. So 2018
Okay.
was fair game. So we beat Auburn and we beat the best Kentucky team ever.
So we couldn't track him cheating the day he got on the campus. I have a hard time believing that.
I'm wondering if, like, after 2018, he was like, good God, guys, we got to do something else. Like, we're never going to catch Georgia or Alabama. We got to start doing some other stuff.
Right. Which, hey, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. But maybe, like, try to cheat a little better.
Yeah. Also, dude, let's out these players. The players that received all this stuff, I want them. Darnell Washington, poor guy, like he didn't even come to Tennessee and got outed like the day it comes out.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
like Henry Toto, I know he got money. Eric Gray, I mean, who the players are, but I want to know specifics on like who got their nails done at La La Nails. I need to know that.
You keep calling out La La Nails. Yeah. I think this is a good time for La La to go full NIL. Like, hey, we're doing all the mom's nails now.
Yeah. No players. God, no players.
No, you said no players, so they can't. But moms, girlfriends, they're free game. Not free game. I'm sorry. That sounded bad. Law's going to do their nails. I listen. This has been fun. It's in the past. You have a season like you did this year. It's easier to laugh at. If we had heard all this after 2020, this would probably sound like just like a suicide podcast where we just sound like we're close to our own deaths.
Yeah. I can't imagine what that was like.
It would be miserable. I would like to go back and listen to like some of those early 2020 podcasts just to hear how bad and sad we sound.
Also, what? Phil Fulmer, is he nowhere to be found? Why is he not involved in any of this?
Yeah, I mean, he got off scot-free. That's another thing, guys. We all want to say he learned it from Alabama. He also had the guy who recruited really well in the late 90s.
Yeah, for sure.
At the helm, helping out. Obviously, Phil may not have been this brazen with it, but he knew it was out.
Phil wasn't using his personal phone.
See? We got to give him some credit.
Yeah, I mean.
He had a burner. He picked up a Walmart, and Jeremy Pruitt had that number.
Phil was teaching them how to cheat. They just couldn't do it right.
Yeah.
Great intentions, terrible execution.
100%. 100%.
I mean, that execution was like the offense under Jeremy Pruitt. That's what the execution was like.
Yeah, it's true.
Instead of JG at quarterback, it was Jeremy Pruitt.
It's going to never get talked about enough. But my favorite, a lot of people want to point to Phil Fulmer at the press conference saying, recruiting's been good. One of my favorite parts that just doesn't get mentioned is on Vol calls one week when Garantano is out. Like a minute before they talk about Garantano didn't practice today, and Jeremy Pruitt says, this is probably our best day of practice all year. And it just doesn't get talked about. And it blows my mind because that was awesome. And then he probably started not that week, but the week after, I'm sure.
Yeah. Good Lord.
It's amazing. Truly amazing. Just some of the things that happened on there.
Yeah. Keep coming out with the stories. I love the stories. Awesome stuff. Man, what morons.
Yeah. Truly. Well, behind us now. Like you said, we got through it. That's what all the staff want to do. That's all the athletic department want to do in the school. And it is officially behind. So that's good.
No bowl ban. That's what you wanted to get out of it, even though I guess they were going to give it to us until we threatened them. Which kind of makes me think,
that's what it seems
why didn't
like.
We just threaten them the entire time?
Yeah, for sure. 100%.
But a lot of that threatening has to do with NIL. I guess
being a thing.
yeah, making
Right.
I guess cheating players out of an opportunity to make money off their name, image, and likeness. So yeah, they're not playing an extra game. If they earn the right to be in that bowl game but can't, that is where the I guess legal action would take place.
Yeah.
So suck it.
What are you gonna do? All right. Recruiting. Speaking of Jeremy Pruitt.
Yeah, great recruiting during this time frame, even though half of those people didn't finish. Thanks a lot.
Right.
Yeah, how good is recruiting if you don't win any? Isn't that worse? If you recruit well and still
100%.
don't win?
1,000%.
Yeah, I'd rather you recruit shitty and be shitty than recruit well and be shitty. You get hopes up doing that. So, yeah, Tennessee did miss out on Arkansas running back Braylon Russell, who did choose Tusk and the Razorbacks. And Tennessee, they're going to have to close on some of these head-to-head battles. I mean, you're competing with the best. You had some momentum going into July, and you've missed out on some. Elijah Rushing, Braylon Russell, Ronan O'Connell. You missed out on Cameron Fountain to USC. So these head-to-head battles, you need to start winning some of those. And, I mean, you have a good opportunity. You have Edwin Spillman, who's set to make his decision next Friday between Tennessee and Ohio State. His brother already being here, him being a Tennessee guy. One of his teammates at Lipscomb Academy is already committed in Caleb Beasley. So you have a lot of things kind of pointing to Tennessee, but you need to go ahead and finish that one off. Don't lose a kid to Ohio State.
Yeah.
Carnell Tate, Dallin Hayden, don't let it happen again.
For sure.
So you need to win some of those battles. You got a crystal ball for Mike Matthews. Hopefully that, I guess that sounds great, but until he commits and signs, I guess that's, just cool, I guess, for now. But you need to lock that one down. That would be a huge get. And then you have guys like Ryan Wingo. I mentioned Matthews, Edwin Spillman, Chris Cole, the linebacker out of Virginia, Kamarion Franklin, Jordan Ross, Kai Bates, Tylen Singleton, and then Amari Jefferson. So a lot of good opportunities with all those players kind of left, but and then Bennett Warren as well, big offensive tackle that you just need to land more tackle bodies, and Bennett Warren's kind of the guy circled there. You don't really have, you kind of missed out on everybody else at that position. So
yeah, I definitely. Troy Cochran just said we need linemen on both sides of the ball for sure. I mean, yeah, that's going to be a huge part, and which Tennessee's doing okay in that department. And then we saw with who committed last week, mentioning just the need base that's going to be there after this year. So that's, I think that's
William Satterwhite was the one.
That's right. And then, I mean, if you if you have a successful season and then the players can also see a way to get on the field faster, like that's a great recruiting tool.
Yeah. So we'll see kind of how this month finishes out. I think the last couple of days of July, you'll have, that dead period kind of opens back up. And so maybe you can get some guys back on campus, maybe take some of that momentum back, and, finish out this class. I mean, the majority of this class is probably going to be before, the first game starts. That's the way it was last year, and that's the way it's kind of trending in recruiting this year. You take your official visits in the summer, make a decision, play your senior year. Depending on if anything goes terribly wrong with that team and the coaching and stuff like that, then you sign in December and get on campus for bowl practice.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Anything else for recruiting?
That's all I got. Let's
perfect
coaches. I love doing the tiering system.
Yeah, you kind of just – this one's kind of interesting because I don't exactly know who to put in the first tier except for two guys right now.
Okay.
I will say we're going to do – I intended to rank them as how they would survive in the wilderness for 40 days. But, we'll just rank them out right now, and we'll do that.
Yeah, we can do both. I don't care.
We'll do the other one Thursday.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Right now, we're just going to rank them as coaches, and I think there's only two, in my opinion, that can be in the. And maybe I can hear some arguments, but I think it's just Nick Saban and Kirby Smart in Tier 1. They're the only ones that have won. Well, they're the only ones that have like good, strong programs right now who've won national championships. You obviously have Jimbo Fisher, but he didn't win one at A&M, and he struggled at A&M. I don't think you can put him in Tier 1.
Okay. I had 4 in Tier 1.
Okay.
Since we're only doing 3 tiers, I agree with you, but I think I'm putting like those are 1A and 1B. And then after that, I feel like it's where the programs are at right now. It's Brian Kelly and it's Josh Heupel.
I certainly see Brian Kelly. Like, that's a good argument. Just his team. I mean, he's got if he wins one at LSU, I think he's Tier 1 for sure. Every coach, their last, 3 head coaches have won national championships. It's easy to win there. And until he does, like, I don't know. He's been at a place like Notre Dame where I wouldn't say it's easy to win one, but it's easy to be in the conversation every year. And he was in the conversation some years, but not every year, and never won the big one.
Okay. Yeah.
I've got to go Tier. I'll let Dylan break the tiebreaker. Josh Heupel, I just needs more time to be Tier 1 for me. This year is huge. If he can build off this year, I'll hear it. He's probably got to play for an SEC championship, though, at least for me, to be Tier 1.
Okay. Yeah, I don't disagree. I guess I was just kind of going more off like now. Like going
I don't
into the
disagree
season.
that they're both like they can very well be Tier 1 by next year, the year after.
Okay.
It's probably harder to like being tiered because, like you said, those guys are probably one, the first two, Saban and Smart, and then it's probably Brian Kelly and Josh Heupel like tied for second behind them, or tied for, I guess, fourth.
Okay. So do we want to do 4 tiers?
Let's run through them, and we can make a first, second tier if we need to. But let's run through them. I think Dylan, you said Heupel and Brian Kelly are both 2 for you right now. Is that right?
I think that's what
you can get into when we break ties if you want. Okay. I think though for like second tier, like I've kind of like thought about how to structure this. Like, for example, like I don't know if he's on the same level, and he might honestly be closer to Heupel. He's definitely closer to Heupel than Kelly, in my opinion. But it's Sam Pittman. Program like Arkansas, where it's not super easy to win at, especially being in the West. I think it's I think he's Tier 2 for me. And then going back in, like if Josh Heupel and Brian Kelly like had their own tier, I'd probably put Jimbo Fisher in that too.
Yeah, I agree. Okay.
But for now, I think just go second tier for them.
Okay. Yeah, second tier I had quite a bit. But if we're going 4 tiers, I feel like that makes more sense because I feel like there is more than 3 tiers for the coaches.
Okay, so let's go second tier. I think I have Fisher, Pittman, Kelly, and Heupel in that second tier. But I also think the second tier is going to be kind of full for me because I think a guy like in 4 tiers, he's probably in the third for me. But at least like Hugh Freeze is probably in that second one for me. He's been successful at places that aren't historically successful in the SEC. Auburn's going to be interesting. He could definitely move down to the third tier for me, what he does at Auburn. But like for what he did at Ole Miss, especially at the time he did it, like I got to give credit to that.
Okay. Okay, to that point, I guess, if you're going to go Hugh Freeze in that tier, I feel like you have to go Lane Kiffin as well in that same tier.
I think it's 3 tiers. I don't know. Yeah, I agree with that to an extent. I agree with that.
I just feel like they've been the same kind of competitive at Ole Miss.
Without beating Alabama, though.
Correct. Yeah.
And beating Alabama during historical runs, too.
But to this point, Lane hasn't been fired for cheating, so.
Yeah. So maybe it's 4 tiers. Maybe it's 4 tiers because I also want to I feel like if I put Lane Kiffin and Hugh Freeze in the second tier as we have it right now, I would have to put Mark Stoops. But I think he's
below.
He's second tier and a 3 tier. He's probably third tier and a 4th tier.
Okay. Yeah, so let's do 3. So first 2 are Kirby and Nick.
Yeah.
And then 2 is Kelly,
Heupel, Pittman, and Fisher.
Okay.
And Fisher is getting credit for Florida State for me right now.
Yeah,
and I feel like he has to.
I just don't know if Pittman's up there. I think he's a good coach, but I mean, he hasn't been any more competitive than Lane Kiffin has.
I don't disagree with that. And Mark Stoops has done more with less at Kentucky. Okay, I'm okay with that. Okay. I do like Pittman. I think all these guys are probably like borderline second tier, and they're second tier and a 3-tier.
Okay,
if that makes sense. So that's Freeze, Pittman, Kiffin, and Mark Stoops. Man, you're not going to like this. I think right now, as it stands, I think Shane Beamer's got to be in that too.
In the second one or the third one?
Third.
Oh yeah.
With those guys. Okay. He's not a fourth tier.
So who's in the second one right now?
I've just got Heupel, Kelly, and Freeze.
And not Fisher or Freeze?
Or sorry, Heupel, Kelly, and Fisher.
Okay.
I don't think I have Freeze in how we're doing it in that.
Okay.
Second.
Yeah, I agree with that. So last,
and then make sure I'm not missing anybody here. Man, rip Mike Leach. He's probably a second tier for me for just like how little he's done at the stops he's been at. So yeah, like that's. I mean, we can do honorable mention for him and go second tier.
Okay.
We don't have to, but we can. I won't write him down. I don't think there's anybody in the third for me. Anybody else? Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, just you had Stoops, Beamer, Kiffin, Freeze, Pittman.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. I think too a guy that's Florida Billy's probably borderline third tier. He's kind of been through a lot after all that with the exit of
Mullen.
Blanking on his name, Mullen. Now the way he's looked this year isn't good. If he can win some games that we maybe don't expect him to, I think he could be a third tier guy. But right now, I think Billy Napier's fourth tier.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, he's that's a program that should never be bad. And right now they're
Correct.
looking like they're going to be horrible. So,
yeah. I don't know where to put Zach Arnett, but I can't put him any higher than.
Yeah, I just think he's kind of a wait and see. It's not really his fault, but we haven't seen anything from him. So,
correct. Can't put him any higher.
Any coach at Vanderbilt's going to be bottom tier. So, that's just
right.
Territory.
We know our nerd at Missouri
got to be there.
Is fourth tier. Sorry, I'm not saying you should be higher than that at Missouri. Well, I don't know. I mean, their first 2 years in the SEC, they played in SEC championships.
Yeah,
but Eli Drinkwitz has not come close. So, yeah, sorry. Hate that for you, but it's true. And then this one's easy. Sorry, Vanderbilt. You're just always going to be.
Yeah.
Hey, it's okay. It's okay. Be the punching bag in the SEC. It's got to be fun sometimes.
I love it. I love the list. I'm glad we did 4 tiers. That makes me feel better about.
Yeah, I think that second tiers. I mean, I'd honestly, because Heupel is definitely a lot of bias coming in, but we also just looked at the restrictions that Tennessee's been on, and then they were able to beat LSU this year, beat Alabama, win an Orange Bowl against Clemson.
Yeah, and won 11 games for the first time since 2001?
Something like that. Like he's probably borderline, like he's probably in between there. And there is some recency bias to this list because Hugh Freeze is arguably done over his career, done just the same. You could probably argue Mark Stoops just because of being at Kentucky, but he's lost to Tennessee a lot in his career and to some of the worst coaches in Tennessee football history.
Yeah.
So again, just
Shout
some
out
recency
that,
bias.
That, win isn't vacated. So
yeah. Shane Beamer, if he has another pretty good year, he beat Tennessee, who's ranked number 5 at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Number 5 at the time, and then goes and beats Clemson the next week. That's big. He did lose his bowl game to Notre Dame.
Oh dang! I just thought about this. The game at Kentucky was vacated that we went to.
At least he doesn't get that win.
Yeah,
he doesn't get that win. But yeah, that's Mark Stoops is definitely. I wouldn't feel good about putting him in the fourth tier, but I wouldn't feel good about putting him in the second tier either. So it is what it is. Definitely some recency bias with Josh Heupel, and maybe with Brian Kelly too. Like what he did at LSU this year to play in the SEC championship game, beat Alabama. That was a home game at night, but yeah, I think he gets there. And Jimbo could slip down to the third tier very easily for me.
And I think Shane Beamer, if he doesn't beat Tennessee last year, I think he might be the fourth tier.
If he doesn't beat Tennessee and Clemson, yes. Maybe if he loses Tennessee, beats Clemson, maybe still for me in that third tier. But yeah, if he loses both those games, yeah, 100%. He's fourth tier.
Yeah.
So that was a big time by them, and the little some of the better football and just overall football that.
Then they lost their bowl game.
The Rattlers. They lost to Notre Dame, same day as us that we won. And they also, I would have loved it if it was a Tennessee thing, but they flew the plane that said Shane Beamer's your daddy bowl, and about the time they flew that, they lost to Notre Dame. So, yikes. Yeah, not a good day for old Scar.
And that was the same Notre Dame team that lost to Marshall at home.
Yep.
So
that was a rough year for Notre Dame.
Shout out.
Very rough year. Is what it is, though. What are you gonna do? All right, I feel confident in that list. Thursday we'll be doing. We'll be tiering them maybe 4 again, at least 3, and who could survive the longest, or who could survive 40 days in the wilderness. I'll go ahead and give a hot take kind of preview for that. I think Nick Saban's sneaky high. He's from the mountains of West Virginia. I know he's old, but he survived this long.
He's going to have those hats ready for sure.
For sure. Yeah, for sure. He does. That's true. He does also he's good at keeping the sun off of him, so good point.
I'm thinking who's going to be last.
I think it's Eli.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
He's definitely a third tier in that. If we do 3 tier, he's bottom tier, I should say. And maybe Sam Pittman's learned some things at Arkansas, but I don't know how high I have him either.
He's gonna eat for sure.
He's gonna need to.
Yeah.
I don't know if he can ration his food appropriately. Lane Kiffin being from SoCal, he's probably bottom 2 for me. I think he probably offs himself a few days in.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he's built for that kind of environment. Not enough women out there.
Yeah. Same for Hugh Freeze. Can't call up any hookers in the wilderness.
Yeah. Hugh Freeze is definitely struggling. He did coach out of a hospital bed, so he does have a little grit.
Yeah, and what's Kirby Smart going to do without that freaking bowl cut he has?
Correct. Yeah, he can't do it. He's clean shaven. He can't last out in the wild. There's your preview. We'll do that on Thursday. We're just trying to kill time until football season. What are you going to do?
Yep.
Did you see Andrew Lindsay get paid? Good for him. I don't think we were going to talk about that at all, but I did want to mention that.
Yeah.
You have that number? I don't have the tweet anymore.
Yeah, he signed for $340K, which is a little bit below slot value, but he is an older player. So slot value is about $429K. So got a little less in slot value, but still a solid pick there in the 5th round for an older player. So
for sure, good for him. Love it.
There's something else I wanted to. Oh, did you see how many quarterbacks are going to SEC Media Days? There's 4.
That's it?
Yeah, there's 1 sophomore that's going out of everybody. That's Judkins from Ole Miss. And South Carolina's bringing a punter, which nothing wrong with a specialist, but, SEC Media Days, you're wanting to put out, your kind of best 3 players that can answer some questions from the media, and I don't know if a punter is who I'd be sending.
I kind of like it. Big special teams guy.
Yeah. But there's a lot of teams that are not bringing a quarterback because they don't know who the heck their quarterback's going to be.
Yeah, we talked about that with where Joe Milton's at. That's a part of it, is that there's just not this isn't a great year for the quarterbacks as of now. It could be obviously by the end, but right now.
Yeah, I think the only ones that are going Spencer Rattler, Joe Milton, KJ Jefferson, and Jaden Daniels. I think that's it.
Yeah, it checks out. That definitely checks out.
Yeah, Alabama's not bringing one. Georgia's not bringing one.
I mean, Alabama just brought somebody in who everybody expects to be their starter from Notre Dame.
And he sucks.
And he's terrible. So,
props to him. I hope he stays terrible.
For sure.
Got some fan questions real quick.
All right, let's hear.
Yeah, we tweeted it out today. Who is your favorite non-quarterback Tennessee football player growing up?
I love Robert Meacham. Eric Berry is an easy one, but I was also a little bit older when he was at Tennessee. So, like, that's a tough one for me. Robert Meacham's kind of in that class too. But he was, Robert Meacham was one of them. I loved Arian Foster. James Wilhoit. Shout out special teams. I think I've got to go Eric Berry, number one.
Yeah, I think I'm with you, Eric Berry. I love Kelly Washington. Love Robert Meacham.
Kelly was a quarterback at one point. Does he count?
Maybe. Also, like recency, I think Trey Smith is a good one.
Yeah, for sure.
I think Juwan Jennings, we saw that a lot. I love Marquez Callaway when he was here. I thought he was phenomenal. We got there's a lot of Eric Berry. There was some Reggie White.
Makes sense.
Of course. Willie Gault, Jamal Lewis.
Jamal Lewis is a great one too.
Al Wilson. Dale Jones, Craig Faulkner.
Okay.
John Henderson, Jason Witten, Carl Pickens.
Joey Kents? Love Joey
There's some
Kent.
Reggie Cobb, some Chuck Webb.
Okay.
Carl Pickens. Tony Robinson. Marcus Nash. There was a Joey Kent here.
Okay.
Raynoch Thompson.
Leonard Little, I'm sure.
Yeah, Leonard
Little in there. Al Wilson, I did see.
Mm-hmm. Jason Allen. Charlie Gardner. Pig Howard. I saw Pig Howard in there.
That's a good one. We talked about him the other day, too.
Peerless Price.
Great one.
Arian Foster.
Okay.
Jeff Hall.
Love it.
Saw Derek Barnett.
All great.
James Littleman Stewart. Yeah, there's a Condridge Holloway. Yeah, there's a lot of good ones in there.
Quarterback, but yeah, we'll take it.
Oh yeah, I did. I guess Tony Robinson was the same thing.
Yeah. Sorry, I missed that name. But yeah.
Yeah, so some really great ones. Yeah, I think I'd go Eric Berry. That was kind of like you said, we're kind of a little older, but still kind of growing up.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I don't know. Balls had dropped maybe at that point, but not by much.
Correct. All right. Any other questions?
I did have another one. Hold on. Let me grab it. It is Jeremy Pruitt the worst hire in Power 5 history?
Got to be up there.
Got to be.
For sure.
And Tennessee's probably had a couple in there, if we're being honest.
Yeah, Derek Dooley is pretty bad. I won't call Butch Jones a terrible hire, but terrible not to fire.
Yes. Who do you think is worse, Jeremy Pruitt or Derek Dooley?
Jeremy Pruitt.
Yeah, I think so too.
Derek Dooley was worse at initially, how the hire came about, but yeah.
Yeah, the way everything kind of unfolded, it ends up being Jeremy Pruitt,
yeah.
Which I think Jeremy Pruitt's probably a better football coach overall than Derek Dooley, but in terms of just running a program into the ground, no one did it like Jeremy Pruitt did.
Right. 1,000%.
Do you think he gives himself any credit for Josh Heupel winning 11 games this past year?
Well, I was going to say that. We did Derek Dooley definitely kind of like put us in a bigger hole, I think. That might have a lot to do with like who followed the two coaches more so than the actual coaches themselves. But yeah, I'm sure he did.
Yeah.
I think he was on a podcast where they gave him credit.
No way.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, yeah, I recruited Jalen Hyatt. I got Hendon Hooker on campus. Which I guess, like,
For sure.
I guess that's kind of fair, but at the same time, like, there's no way that offense is good with him at the helm.
For sure.
Who's bigger, you think? Sam Pittman or, God, who was our OC?
Oh, Jim Chaney? Jim Chaney. Jim Chaney by a long shot. They had to add a couple X's to his gear.
Yeah.
Also, we did mention our guy, so gotta show this since I don't have the.
Oh yeah, the JG.
Yeah. Also need to send this to you, and just anytime you see JG mentioned on Twitter, just reply with this.
Okay, I appreciate that.
Yeah, 1,000%. Most important.
Yeah, most important. Let's do it.
I think I shared this on Thursday, but I'm gonna. It's my most important for the week. It's the banana ball rule, and if it's a foul ball caught by a fan, it's an out. Kid caught a line drive to end the game, and I do love the announcer at one point said, and that's why you bring your glove to a baseball game.
Was it a grown man?
No, it was a younger guy. He might have been like high school.
Okay, that's good. Yeah,
maybe even
grown man bringing a glove. That's kind of strange.
To be fair, I feel like at Savannah Bananas, you have to bring a glove because you were part of the game.
Okay, that's
your
that's
duty
fair.
for the home
But yeah,
team.
like you're going to Atlanta Braves, and it's like a 45-year-old man bringing his glove.
Unless it's an absurdly large glove, like it's comedic. Yeah, leave the gloves at home.
Yeah.
Guys. You got a most important?
I do. It's what was this? Have you seen the new quarterback show?
Yeah, I've watched 2 episodes.
Okay. What do you think about Kirk Cousins just like a tire?
Just
his
what?
attire, like what he wears like outside of.
I didn't have a thought on it.
Really? So you didn't? Did you see
weird?
that? I don't know if you've gotten to it yet.
I saw the clip in the first episode where he's on what show is he on? Is it Rich Eisen or is it Colin Cowherd? And they ask him, they try to decide what brand it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that dude, that's hilarious. Like you're a starting quarterback, yeah, he has that video of him with the chains on, and shirtless.
Yeah.
And then he dresses like a guy that works at Dollywood.
I think he's dressed like a 40-year-old dad.
Well, yeah.
Which I guess is also a guy that works at Dollywood. Yeah. I kind of like the attire.
I do too. I think that's the most important.
Okay.
I dig it.
Okay.
I think you own being strange or not strange, just being like a
being himself. He's talking about that conversion van he drove.
Yes. Yeah.
Which I do love that. Like I feel like that's when anybody could probably bought that. It's not expensive, but like you're rich when you're just like, I'm buying this van for my grandparents because I loved it.
Yeah. Whereas like he's wearing like
Definitely.
a Patagonia shirt, like it's nothing that we couldn't afford. Like he's just a regular dude.
Yeah. Oh, that is a 10. Oh no, that's a 0. I just didn't connect the board. Okay, Joey takes it back. Yeah, no, for sure. Sorry, I got distracted.
I got one more, and did you see the Daniela Hemsley, the female boxer that she won her first boxing match on live TV and pulls her sports bra up?
Oh, good for her.
You didn't see this?
I didn't.
I'll see if I can send it to you. I know it's kind of weird, but whatever. The first thing, I'm typing in her name on Twitter, and the first thing that pops up was Daniela Hemsley's OnlyFans.
That's wild.
Yeah, but I'm sending it to you right now.
Does she actually have one?
No, that's just people are trying to search it.
Looking it up. Yeah. Okay. Fail. It's Brian Niedermeyer. My girlfriend spends a lot of money. My parents don't really like her. It's an issue. She has expensive taste in different things. I try to keep that off my bank records. I just love that. Love that.
Poor guy. He just for somebody who was so beloved while he was here, I mean, it couldn't happen to a better person, honestly.
Yeah. We did give him a nickname.
The Moose.
And that was bad. Shouldn't have
It
done
was
that.
also a great nickname too.
That's
he
true.
Ruined. Did you see that video?
Which
I
one?
just sent you a video.
Oh, yes. No,
Okay.
but I'm clicking on it now.
I want to get your reaction.
Oh. Okay. I love the cameraman is staying dialed in.
Yeah.
Credit to him. Wow. That's interesting for sure.
I have
Also, a lot of OnlyFans people advertising underneath there, so be careful. You do click on any links that Landon sends.
my only fail is Ian Tongi, and if you watch American Idol, he was the winner this past season. Love Ian, great singer, awesome story. Sang the national anthem at the home run derby and didn't remove his hat.
I feel like that's pretty common, though.
Is it?
Am I crazy?
I don't know.
I feel like I've seen plenty of national anthem singers wear hats.
Yeah, he apologized, but I was just like,
Right.
it wouldn't have bothered me. But now that like it's out there, it's like, yeah, maybe like if you're saying right before, please remove your hats, and he's got one on.
Yeah. I mean, I don't disagree with that. I'd take my hat off for the national anthem.
Sure.
But, I feel like I've seen it before. Like
I've never sang it, so I don't know how that works. But
we're going to get you at a Smokies game singing it, or a Tennessee game maybe.
That would be hilarious. Honestly,
That would be.
Think
Would you do it?
Yeah, but I feel like I will stumble on the words. I know the national anthem, but I feel like in the moment, like my mind will just go absolute blank.
Yeah, with maybe an Ice Bears game, make you walk around the ice.
Yeah, I'd have to like slam a couple beers before I did it.
That's fine. I think you slam a beer
some
after.
Liquid confidence in there.
Yeah, I think you have a beer ready to go after.
Okay. Yeah, I'm down. Actually, you should do it. You're a better singer.
I'm a terrible
No,
singer.
you're not.
I'll support you.
You're Horton in the play.
I have been referred to as the songbird of our generation, but I think you're born for the national anthem at a baseball game. So,
what if we both did it? What if we did it as a duet? That'd be sick.
Duet. All right, let's do it.
All right. Well, that's all I got. Great episode.
That's it. Yeah, I've got a Brutus's being a wine baby, so I'm gonna take him out.
Gotcha. All right, guys. Thanks for listening. We'll be back on Thursday. Caleb will be back.
I'll be in Knoxville.
He's back. This is the last episode of you on the road.
Yeah, it is.
The tour. He's been on the More Important Issues tour. So
Yeah.
he's finally getting to come back home and kiss some people. I don't know. Maybe we'll have like a. Do you know what time you're coming back in on Thursday?
I mean, I should be in like noonish, maybe a little bit later.
Okay. We'll figure something out.
All right. Sounds good.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening. Have a good week. We're bringing the boat in, and we out.